you're back.
Okay, so what I was saying is, it was my teacher's idea to come up with this one character. So at the beginning, when we were talking about the Middle Ages, you would get this little hat to pick out of, and then there'll be different roles. So you'd have peasants and knights, and nobles, and there'd be one king or queen in your class. And then I actually got a merchant slash craftsman, which I was happy about. But then he had this drawing where if you pick one number, then you would become the clergy person. Unfortunately, I had to pick 8, and I didn't want 8, but I got the clergyman, and unfortunately, I couldn't be a girl, so I had to change into a guy. And then I started imagining what I wanted this guy to be like. I wanted him to be kind of young because old guys. I want an old guy. So that's where this idea came from. And because a lot of the sources for questions that we needed to answer, they didn't have information about the clergy, so I kind of asked my teacher about it, and he was explaining how if you're a bishop, then you have power because you're a church official, but you don't really do any fighting. You're rich, I guess, but you are mostly the historian person who records everything, so that's kind of where it came from.
When you said you had a guy character, I know some parts of history and stuff, there was things that went certainly against women. Women didn't have some rights to do this stuff. How did you show that, or did you show it?
Well, I didn't really talk about female people that much. The only time I think I really mentioned it is in wars, it's only men who went to fight. Or when you're defending your castle, I would say, oh, it's only the men are going out to fight, they've got this, blah, blah, blah. And I also mentioned that I couldn't get married as a church person because that went against church rules. So that's the only time I ever really talked about girls.
What? Okay, so I know you using all the different websites. You use the iMovie. You use the digital picture. What's that called?
ThingLink. The interactive.
Yeah. And then you use the GoAnimate or whatever.
Yeah.
GoAnimate. Are those your 3 basic ones you use, or is there some you've been experiencing, trying to use?
Well, mostly, in some cases when you do blogs, you have a requirement, you have to do an interactive. And, sometimes it's better to do a ThingLink, in the Black Death. I thought it was better to show the different parts of what made up the Black Death. But, you can decide on what you want to do. I tried a s'more for the Martin Luther thing because I felt that showed, the flyer format showed the 95 theses, or whatever they're called. I thought that showed that better, whereas an iMovie can capture a lot of different aspects and historical things about what you're trying to show. So I kind of experiment around. GoAnimates are probably the most, or iMovies. They're kind of the hardest to do because you have to make sure you get all the words in, and they can't be too much, and then you have to try to get all the scenes that you want to be showed in.
Yeah, I tried to do a GoAnimate one time. It didn't work.
Yeah, the problem is, if you don't subscribe or something, you can only make a 30-second video, and that doesn't give you a lot of time because each speech probably takes 10 seconds, and then if you only have 3 of those, then you get to 30 seconds already, and then yeah, you have to experiment around with a lot of these. iMovies are nice because you can show images, and then you can put music in, then transitions, and you can put all the words in. There's no limit to how long you have to go. ThingLinks, if you don't know a lot about the subject, then it doesn't really work. Because chronological things, it's better to show iMovies. You could just go different frames all over.
Yeah, I really liked when you did the ThingLinks. It really helped me show the visual element. But then you had the story in the background. Because, stories are really good for explaining, a longer thing. And, they're interesting. You make them interesting. And just having the ThingLink below with the picture really helps, overview it. Really quickly go over what you needed to learn. Because I know one time we were trying to do something on the Black Plague. And I didn't really, or the Plague or whatever, Black Death. I didn't really know, like, understand it. And he's like, go to your blog pal saying she's got a great one. So I looked at the thing link and it helped me. I got it.
Yeah, actually, my blog post didn't get that good until my one about castle defense, because starting on that one, I started to put more information into my blogs. Like, once you answer more of the questions, you try to go as deep into the questions as you can, so you can get the most information from what you're trying to get. So once you get that, you're like, oh, I know more about this. I can go deeper. And then the deeper I went, of course, the stories that I wrote got longer, but they show more of the time period. They show more of the details. So I think just going deeper into the questions is really helpful into what you're trying to get.
Yeah, I thought your stuff was like amazing from what I saw. I definitely had to look into that. Like, I just really enjoy like reading and looking at your stuff.
Me
it
too.
really helps.
I like how you also put in a lot of detail. Like, you focus on one thing and then put in detail. Like, I think you had a time portal somewhere, and you had the sensations and what the details of what you did, or you posted that new like newspaper thing with the houses, or like buying a wooden house, and you gave like all the good features and what is good about your house, and that was a really good way to show that.
That project actually didn't get done because I tried to use a GoAnimate. We had like 5 subjects. There was like the housing, there was the crime and stuff. So I got 3 out of the 5 of them done because I was gonna do the GoAnimate for the other ones and it didn't work. So all I have is a script and I didn't post that.
That's okay. See, the thing about GoAnimate is if you want to do that, you have to make sure your idea is kind of basic. You don't want it to go really deep. You don't want it to be too long, because then you have
So
to.
it would be better for like a smaller, like little, like say you had like a really tiny part of the Black Plague.
I think it'd be like, see, the problem is you can't show somebody getting sick. I mean, maybe you could show them coughing, but you're not going to be able to like insert little black things on their cheeks or whatever. You can't customize their look. So that one probably is better on focusing something real like an iMovie or a Thingling. That shows it better than trying to get little black things on little cartoon characters. Yeah. So, are you guys going to do blogs for the rest of the year?
Yeah, it'd be difficult.
We're probably going to get all the way done to the end of the year, because we also
Yeah, I'm planning on.
we do blogs in other classes. We do it in Spanish and science as well. So
Yeah, we don't do it in any other subjects. Like, okay, so on my blog, I'm pretty sure I've done it wrong, set it up all wrong, but since the end of the year is almost done, like, I think it'll be made with space. Because I know how up at the top you have your, like, 5 subjects. You've got, like, home, social studies, science,
right.
Spanish or something. And I have, like, actual, like, one's home, like, Middle Ages. I think I set that up wrong.
Did you
Like,
want it to
I
be
just have
on one
5, 'cause I
page?
think you can only have up to 5.
I'm not sure.
I didn't really matter. But,
You
like,
can have more, but
Is this
you can have more, but they'll be button, or they'll just be dots at the end. You have to click those, and then they'll appear down the side. We're doing ours as a blog, so all of the social studies posts are on one page compared to yours, where you're doing pages for
I
each
think I was
topic.
supposed to have it set up as a vlog, but you know, I didn't really understand that, and I just kind of created it anyway.
What you want to make sure when you're doing that is, once you make a new page, instead of clicking like make a new page every time you want to post something, you have to click new blog post, and then it'll show the date, and then it'll let you put in categories and other stuff. But
I started doing that on Rome, I think, because I had several projects for Rome. Like, I had the pictures of the Christian and anything, like, do believe, do not leave. And it had, like, a few posts, but I'm pretty sure that's how you're supposed to do it. I was doing it wrong.
yeah,
this time,
but your
it's
way
okay,
isn't
we
wrong.
learn.
It isn't wrong. It's another way to do it. But I mean, if you get too many of those, they're just gonna get all messy. But you know, right now it looks great, so don't worry about it.
See, I figured since the year's almost over, you know,
Yeah,
what are you going to do about it?
it's okay. I think.
I actually have to go to a class now.
All right. Well, it was really nice meeting you.
It was
So
really nice meeting you, too.
I'll keep in touch with you on our blogs.
If you guys want to chat, again, we can set this up during this time.
I can like go to.
All right.
She has to.
He took pictures. All right, what?
All right, well, that's fine.